"45" signifies, of course, 45 years of being in the business since I started working professionally. I mean, of course, I wanted to be a jazz musician from the time I was 14 years old, after hearing Toots Thielemans play on the Quincy Jones album. Just to me, that was it. That was game over. I knew I was going to be a professional jazz musician, but of course also having to play pop to make a living. And so I played on more than 300 pop albums, Malay, Chinese, and English, and a couple of Indian records as well. Everyone from Alley Cats, Francis Yip, Matthew and the Mandarins, Sudirman, Sharifah Aini, you name it. I just got to work with everybody in the scene at that time in the 70s and 80s. And then later on, when I moved over to Polygram, I got to work with Teresa Teng on one of her albums, and Tracy Huang, people like that. So Rahimah Rahim, and so I'm very lucky to work with all those people. Well, it was very interesting when I was playing at the Club 392 with Rahimah Rahim and Rahim Hamid and so on. I caught the Year of Stardust leader, Pat Chan, who asked me to come and see if I would be interested to write arrangements for their shows and also lead their backing band, being the music director for the backing band. For me, it's like about 35 years almost, or definitely more than 30 years since I last performed with them.
Love is like a stardust of yesterday, the music of the years gone by.
We'd really like to thank Jeremy for bringing us all back together again. I mean, he really is the catalyst for our newfound and old-found friendship. Yeah.
I actually, most of the time, came to start lifting younger musicians after others had done the heavy work. Then I actually kind of appear towards the end of their development with those guys, and then try to bring them to another level. I mean, they're all around me now. You know, Richie is playing flute with me often and has his own band. I think he's a world-class flute player. And some of them, they don't even think that they are good enough to be in one of the orchestras that I run, the Jazz Association Singapore, either the main or the youth orchestra. But saxophone player Sean Hong Wei is actually a Jazz Association Singapore scholar. He'll be leaving for New York. But already before he leaves for school, I'm wondering what is school going to teach him, because he's already so good, you know. There's a very famous saying, when I saw it, then I realized how important it was for me to do this little bit of helping people up, lifting them up, which is, and I don't consider myself a great master, but the saying is beautiful. A true master is not someone who has a lot of students, but he's measured by how many masters he helps to create. Pulling together some really talented people of all ages. I've got a 13-year-old child, virtuoso by the name of Toby Tan, is already winning piano competitions all over the world, and he has two roles on the show. One is that he's going to play the young Jeramzee at the start of the show, and then at the end he will be Toby Tan doing a two-piano performance with me. I have Joe Fernandez, who I've always admired his voice, and he started off even earlier than I did when he was like 7 years old with Mel and Joe. Melissa Tham, who's been a long-time collaborator, Alemay Fernandez, Richard Jackson. I'm bringing two friends of mine that I work with a lot from Europe. Nicolas, Folmar, who's the co-founder of the Paris Big Band. I've worked with him quite a bit as well. And arguably, one of the best tenor saxophone players in Europe, Tony Lakatosh. And Jeramzee, my band, that we were together for about 10 years. Sim Francis often sang with Jeramzee on some of our shows, many of our shows. I mean, the list goes on. With the young musicians of the Jazz Association Singapore Orchestra, will combine with an ensemble from Resound Collective to basically continue to make symphonic jazz a big thing in Singapore in the next 5 years or so. Really happy to be part of this interview for silverstreak.sg, and happy to make your acquaintance through this wonderful medium. And I hope to see all of you at 45 RPM, which is my 45th anniversary concert at Esplanade Concert Hall on the 1st and 2nd of July. See you all there.